I belong to
Hey guys, it's RickeaShonte. We're going to go ahead and jump into the video. Starting off with primer, I used the Fenty Instant Retouch Primer. This has a consistency of a moisturizer. Then I went in with the Becca Ever Matte Primer. And with this one, it's a little bit more of a sticky gel-like texture. And it just really helps me to combat all of the oils that'll try to peek through throughout the day. I found that I like mixing these two together and they work really, really well. Moving on to my base, I used the Fenty Beauty Foundation in the shade 410. I picked this foundation up along with the concealers when they released a couple of weeks ago. I really like the coverage that this provides, and I feel like it's a really good color match for my skin. I just used the Morphe M439 brush to really work the product into my skin to provide a nice even base to use for the rest of my makeup. I did my eyebrows off camera, so we're going to move on into eyes. I used the Makeup Revolution Neutrals 2 palette, and I used a Morphe M518 brush to dip into that tan shade, and we're going to use that for my transition. I used a mixture of windshield wiper as well as circular motions to just really blend out this color. I dipped into the pan, I'd say about 3 times on each eye, just making sure that I get it to my desired intensity. The key to a beautiful eyeshadow look, guys, is just blending. Just continue blending, blending, blending until you can't blend anymore. Moving on, I used a Morphe 506 brush and I dipped into that kind of dusty rose color, and I used that as far as placement. I put that in my crease, starting at the outer corner of my eye because that's where I wanted the color to be the most pigmented, and then kind of sweeping it across the rest of my crease. I also kind of brought it down in a V shape just to kind of accentuate my eyes a little bit more, and of course I did this on both sides. Blended it out into my desired liking. I use that same Morphe brush and dip into that maroon color, and I place that directly beneath the color that we just added. I want it to further deepen up my crease and add a little bit more depth to this eyeshadow look. So like I said, just blend, blend, blend until you get it to how you want it. For my lid, I use the Morphe 421 brush, and I use like this very dusty kind of light rose color on my lid. I first applied it dry and it really wasn't giving me the oomph that I was looking for, so I used my Mario Badescu spray to wet the brush, and that added the little something that I felt like was missing. And I didn't actually do a traditional cut crease, I just used the kind of dampness of the brush to kind of carve out my lid space. I just mixed those two crease colors together just to kind of marry those colors, and then I grabbed a clean Morphe 518 brush just to make sure I blended out all of those harsh lines. Moving on to concealer, I used the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Butterscotch, and I went kind of light today as far as concealer. And then to blend this out, I just used a brush that I got for Christmas. If I can find the name or the brand, I'll make sure I link it down in the description box for you guys because I really, really like it. To set my concealer, I used the Fenty setting powder in the shade Honey, and then I grabbed this sponge from Eco Tools, dipping it in and just making sure I blow off the excess. And then I just use this to just set my concealer. I actually enjoy the smell of this product, and I also love how flawless my under eye looks once it's finished being applied. For contour, I'm using my Maybelline foundation. This is in the shade 360 Mocha. If you are OG of the channel, you guys know that I live by this stuff. It's so creamy and extremely easy to blend out, and I also love how it's like a nice color for me. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. I feel like it's right in the middle and it's perfect. I use the same foundation stick to just contour my nose, and the brush that I use for this is by Real Techniques. It's just their deluxe concealer brush. It's really, really fluffy, and it's really easy and small enough for me to maneuver to make sure that my contour doesn't go too crazy. To set my cream contour, I'm going in with the Morphe Bronzer in the shade Fantabulous using the Morphe 405 brush. Anything that you use as far as a liquid or a cream, you have to make sure that you go in and set it with the powder just to make sure that it's going to stay in place and to make sure it's going to last all day, because you don't want to take all this time doing your makeup and then a couple hours later it's sliding or moving all across your face. Now I'm going in with the Sephora Micro Smooth. This is their baked foundation powder, just to make sure I blend everything together and just to make sure that everything is set. I'm extremely oily, so I need to make sure that none of this is moving anywhere. I wanted to add a little bit of extra pizzazz as far as to my eyes, so I went in with the Stila. This is their liquid eyeshadow in the shade Tulip Twinkle. It's kind of similar to the color that I placed on initially, but of course, being that it's like a metallic finish, it's going to add a little bit more extra glam to this look. I went in straight with the applicator at first, and then I used that same Morphe M421 brush just to make sure that it was blended out and to make sure that it was a nice even line. For mascara, I went in with Benefit's Bad Gal Bang. Then moving on to highlight, I used the Shayla X ColourPop. This is their loose highlighter in the shade Pose. For blush, you guys know I had to use MAC's Sweetest Cocoa. And then moving on to lips, I used the Kylie Cosmetics lip pencil in the shade True Brown K. Then I used her liquid lipstick in the shade Cupcake, just making sure to put a little bit on the bottom and then blotting the top. And then I finished off my lips with e.l.f.'s Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Pink Cosmo. To set my face, I used the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. And now we are finished with the look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.